Now I'm asking for a bit of patience as I do some of these videos, because it's a chance for me to bring the different parts of my life together. For years of trying to build up the photography business and build up the photography portfolio, and finding an avenue to spread the word. But from listening to some of who I consider to be thought leaders, Gary Vaynerchuk, Joe Rogan in many ways, it's a chance that it's part of the self and the inquisitive self that gives us a chance to explore our inner lives and to, as Gary would say, document, not create. And I think that's really important for me. I think about that idea of documentation, about what in my life there is to document. I sat through Instagram today, and it's funny, from following people and following Instagram stories, there's the stories that come up a lot of the time about not as part of their profiles, but a part of the Instagram stories themselves, about challenges with mental illness and challenges with anxiety and depression that we're happy to talk about in avenues in which sits in our feeds for 24 hours and then they disappear, as if we don't talk about it again. And it made me realize that we've all got these stories and these challenges. And part of what I want to do with these video series, and maybe one day they'll get out there and they'll see, I'm sure this will either be video 1 or video 2, who knows, in the series, is that it's, mental health issues is something that we all deal with, and we all have challenges with in one way or another. We live in a household of anxiety and depression and agoraphobia, and I think agoraphobia is one of those big ones, not being able to leave the city in many ways, that it doesn't get shared too much. Now look, those stories the stories of mental illness aren't my stories to share, because I prefer those people to share their own stories. We think about that there are the situations that we all support. Part of my life that I bring together is, one, supporting a family member with illness, anxiety and depression, but also working for an organisation in New South Wales that supports people who care for someone with anxiety, depression, physical illness, physical disability, intellectual disability, etc., etc. It's not too hard to find out who if you could do the Google search. But it's these different roles that we come together and form that life space. It's important in our lives to support all individuals, all people that go through these times. And I guess part of me wanting to do these videos is to get my little story out there to begin with, and build on it, build on the narrative of my life. Because we're not defined by an illness, we're not defined by a disability or a situation in life. We're a combination of a whole lot of different things. It's about supporting all people. I know we're listening, I talk a lot about Gary Vaynerchuk and the work that he does, but one of his core messages is we're all going to die. And it's so important to realize that, we've got one life. It's a fast life I'm feeling right now, because you're getting out of control, weeks after weeks, months after months ago. But we got one life, so we got to make the most of it, because at the end of the day, we are mortals, we have our own mortality, and if we don't get our grips on what we're going through and having a sense of peace, acceptance, and control over our own lives, then it's going to control us before we control them. I'm going to keep bringing you these videos that pull the narrative of my life together, because it is there is so many parts to me. I wrote a blog 12 months ago, it would have been, husband, carer, family member, which I'll repost below, because I think it's important that we don't exist as one. Sure, we can have the most manicured Instagram, Facebook page, social presence, but it's the human content that we have behind us, and it's the idea that we are genuine beings in this world, and working together for growth and prosperity, dragging us all ahead. So hopefully this message inspires. Love to get your feedback, and I will continue to post now that I got this little microphone to help me with my own voice, and we'll go from there. So have a good day. Bye.